everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Samp and Chance. Thursday afternoon, here I am, joined with my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Can't complain, man. We're almost there. The weekend is in sight. Yeah, man. It's all good. Everything is beautiful. And we have a big weekend in Saudi Arabia coming up here, both in professional wrestling and in boxing. But before that, my friend, before any of that, guys, look at the bottom of the screen here. You can see all our social media platforms. So what I would like you to do right now is pause the podcast and go and subscribe and like all our channels, please. That's all I'm asking.
Reasonable request.
I've made it as simple as possible without me actually being there and pressing like and subscribe for you. All the addresses are there. So guys, hit that up and let's get going with that, please. Your support means the world to us. Without you guys, it's nothing. So thank you for all of those who support us. And yeah, Chance, what do you got?
I totally agree. Like, support, share it, spread the word.
Awesome. All
Fully
right.
gaining steam little by little.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so here's the other thing that I have to do today, and I thought about this for the last couple days. Respect to Jake Paul. You know what? I officially, I'm not on the wagon or the bandwagon or anything like that, but I do respect and applaud his performance on Saturday night.
Did
100%.
a good job.
I will say this: I don't think the Jake Paul that fought Tyrone Woodley in one or two would have been able to beat Anderson, but the training and then all the work that he's put in, like he's really honed in on the craft. I'll give him this. This is what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
talking about.
and he's young too.
He's young,
Good.
absolutely. Yes, he doesn't have the amateur pedigree, but I guess he's more of a Anthony Joshua type boxer, kind of
Yeah,
late bloomer, late starter sort of a deal. His
and just a
technique,
naturally good athlete too. It seems.
yeah, well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, he has collegiate wrestler. I don't know if he has collegiate wrestling or not, but I know he has a wrestling background, a high school wrestling background at least.
Yeah,
Um, but here's the deal, man. Like his technique, his positioning, just structure, his body frame, just the way everything was angled for him. Like he really knew what the best approaches were. He knew how to box, and I'll give him credit where credit is
people are
due.
underestimating. They think he's stupid. He studies a lot of tape, a lot of film. He works hard. He's got the best trainers around. The money can buy. He works hard and studies the game. He watched Anderson Silva used to be his favorite growing up. He actually has a picture of Anderson Silva together when he was 16
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. Like that.
No,
Yeah, so
he was about 12, I believe.
12. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They're quite young. I remember that. Yeah. No, absolutely. Like, look, it wasn't an easy fight either. Anderson
no,
showed him a lot and gave him a lot. And it's kind of funny, the humble Anderson throughout the whole week, all the buildup leading up to this. And then he comes out to be the guy that I was expecting, holding his head down and
being
doing
cocky.
being cocky and arrogant, doing his little dancing and stuff. Now, the one piece that I would normally have, kind of shrugged off, but I have to say the fight was not rigged, Chance. I do not believe.
I don't know why people are saying that because here's the thing: I was listening to actually on Sirius XM a couple days ago. For a fight to be rigged, okay, you got to pay off Anderson Silva. You got to keep his trainers quiet. So let's just say the fight was rigged, for example, and they gave Anderson $500, $500,000 to take a dive. Well, the next time Anderson fights for a promotion, he's going to want $1 million. And if you don't give him that fee, he's going to run to the athletic commission. And people are basically saying Anderson Silva is a PED cheat. He's got no pride or nothing, that he'll throw a fight to a YouTube guy. There's no way in hell he would do that. Whoever's saying it's rigged is foolish. It's not rigged. There's no way. It's too hard to pull that off nowadays.
Well, I mean, if anything was rigged, in my opinion only, and I know it wasn't, but if anything looked rigged, I would have had to say it was Deontay Wilder against Robert
Oh
Helenius.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Like,
Right. I mean, because again, I only reference this because of that punch. It was like I know he's got power in that right hand. I get it.
oh yeah.
But that was just like a fleeting shot. It didn't even look hard. And the effect that it had on Helenius was just the next level.
Oh, he was out, dude.
Right? Like, I mean, wow. If there was anything to be called a fix or something mailed in, that would have
That's
been
the
the
one.
one. Absolutely, in my opinion, anyways, this year.
Yeah.
You
If
know,
it was to be, but that wasn't either. But I get what
it
you're saying.
wasn't, right? It just looked like that could have been more of a clear picture. Now, one could say that Anderson was off balance a little bit because, he had a really low stats and whatnot. But yeah, he got caught. He got
You got,
caught,
yeah.
right?
Let's not forget, he's 47 years old. The
47 years
22
old.
year age gap makes a big difference in fighting at this level.
No, it does 100%. I mean, skill is skill, but I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to cardio and it comes down to
Power.
fitness and
Yeah, he's
power and
got the
whatnot.
youth,
Like,
right? It's that youthful energy.
well, that's it. So as soon as as soon as cardio starts to go down, all the other elements start to kind of dwindle as well.
Yeah.
Um, Jake beat him. I get it. He won. Now, here's the question: where does Jake go from here? I know they're
Yes.
saying, I get it, but you know what? To be honest, man, and this is kind of funny now to say because every other opponent that he's faced, I've said, yeah, he should win.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron should have beaten him.
No, Anderson should have.
Anderson should have beaten him. Diaz does not stand a chance against him.
Oh, he's going to get pummeled.
He may not get knocked out or anything, but he would lose in a decision.
He's going to lose the fight. Yeah.
It'd go the distance, right? I mean, I don't think he'd knock out.
I think they're just thinking all the trash talk Diaz can do, all the trash talk Jake can do, build a lot of hype. It's kind of fight their cancel fight. It's kind of what they're thinking. I think it's going to be Diaz next.
No, I think it is as well. But you know what? I also feel that Tyson or Tommy's still there.
Tommy's not allowed in America. He's going to have to go over there to fight him.
Well, that's the case. And if that's the case, then, the Furies will have to put up the money and the venue and everything for the fight. Jake said he'll go there. He'll do it.
Didn't Jake mock Tyson Fury too?
Yeah, he did some
That's
fat shaming thing or something.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't want to do that to Tyson Fury. His brother's one thing. You don't want to play with Tyson.
I get it, but here's what I get. What I don't understand, like, for a guy who wants to bring equal pay to combat sports and whatnot, he's got great ideas. And I like, of all the bets that he made, I think that was probably the best one he made with Anderson to kind of form a fighters union, right? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, a lot of these older MMA guys, and it's funny to think MMA is only 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even that old of a sport. Yet
really,
the guys that fought in the beginning and the beginning of it all never made any money.
No, they're all broke. Yeah.
They're all, and so it's kind
of. But
it
wasn't big then either, though, too, right?
No, but regardless, it's kind of like, you think about hockey players from the 60s and 70s up until maybe the mid 80s, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't invest your money properly or if you didn't do the right things, most of those guys, are working regular jobs now.
Yep.
Right. So it's just kind of like I applaud them for wanting to do this. I really do, because I think it's best interest of the fighters, promoters at all levels and all principles or all combat sport mediums.
They don't want that.
They don't want it because I mean, they use these guys, and that's really unfortunate. Like I think of Steve Molitor, for example, when we, are a friend of our show. Like, how much more could he have made if he didn't have all the stupidity around him? And
true,
he's
and
a former champion.
He's an American too, probably been showcased.
Yeah. And he's a 2-time world champion.
Yeah.
So I get that. I'm not saying everyone has to be on a complete equal field. Obviously, there's tiers, right?
Yeah.
You got your A tier, B tier, blah blah blah. You have to work your way up. It's kind of like sometimes I wish North American sports was like the European style, where you had your main league and then you had your Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, and relegation. I would love that in North American sports.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
I think it'd be really cool, but I digress.
What about your boy Le'Veon Bell? You lost to Uriah Hall. He didn't do that. He didn't look that bad.
I don't think Uriah looked good either, though.
No,
I mean, respect to Le'Veon Bell. I mean, he put up a pretty sturdy fight there, man. I mean,
tough guy.
Kind of unorthodox, but I mean, Uriah Hall should have ended that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's not forget that. Yeah, he won by decision, but it shouldn't have been a decision. So all respect to Le'Veon Bell, and
he's a tough guy.
Well, let's see where he
goes.
Athlete. I mean, if they're going to continue with this and whatnot, let's see where they kind of go with it. And I hope for the best for both of them. Uriah Hall, I think, should just hang him up.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's just not a big draw. He just kind of, I don't know, maybe says he's going to keep boxing, so maybe he thinks he can get a few more celebrity fights. I'm not sure what his angle is.
I think he needs to lift his energy up a little bit. And that's, I think, what kind of made me not really enjoy the fight. Like, his energy wasn't there. He wasn't present. He was there, but he wasn't.
He was like, what am I doing? I'm fighting an NFL player.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they're saying all the right things and everything and whatnot, but, that's that. Well, I would say what's next for Anderson, but Anderson's in Saudi Arabia now competing in a jiu-jitsu tournament, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what he's doing right
He's
now.
gonna continue on. He'll fight again, so he'll keep fighting. He
Yeah,
loves
he'll
it.
keep fighting. I think he just
There's not many more big fights left for him, though. That's for
no,
sure.
no. I mean, he's made his money. Let him do his thing. Let him fulfill all this. GSP's a free agent, so I don't know what that means to anybody. He's basically said he's done. So
Yeah, I don't see him doing these celebrity fights, but you never know. Might want to pad the bank account one day.
he's done pretty good for himself. I think he's pretty smart with this money, and he's always maintained. I left the sport on top and in
Mm-hmm.
health.
Yep, it's true.
Right. So, he's very smart man. I don't, it has to be something very, very tempting for him to want to
Come back.
come back or do something, right? I think he's done MMA.
We got more celebrity boxing fights coming up. We got Floyd Mayweather's fighting on the 13th, and then Pacquiao is fighting on December 12th. And Pacquiao is using this fight against DKO to see if he wants to come back to professional ranks. So we'll see.
Yeah, I read about that. He says how he does in this match will determine if he's going to come back. And like, we talked about before, he's got that
Which means he's going to
Spence.
fight it one more time, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, speaking of that, it just came to me. What do you make of the whole thing with Bud Crawford saying like, look, we were offering, we're being offered 25 million a piece guaranteed money, but Al Heyman didn't want.
Yeah, I seen the rebuttal this morning from Crawford or from Spence, and he's basically saying it's total crap. He's lying. We're ready to fight. He's the one who ducked me. So they're Crawford saying you ducked me, and Spence is saying you ducked me. The promoters should just get together and say, sign the dotted line, boys. We do 50-50. Let's get it on.
Well, something's got to give here, right? I mean, I guess this is the downside. I didn't think about this. I figured if you're a free agent, you don't belong to any one promotion or have one promoter running your show. It'd be easy to make fights, but he's kind of starting his own network. It
Yeah,
feels
he's
like,
fighting a guy that nobody's heard of, and nobody's going to really watch it. And you're wasting your prime of your career doing this stuff. Maybe he wants a tune-up fight before he goes in against Errol Spence, maybe? Now they're saying
possibly.
Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman's going to be next for him.
Yeah, that's mandatory.
Yeah, so that'd be a good fight.
How the fuck did Thurman get mandatory all of a sudden after one fight after 2019?
He talks a good talk.
Shit. Like, seriously, man, we're in the wrong business, bro.
I guess he has a bit of a little name value. I figure Errol Spence, Keith Thurman will sell a little bit, maybe.
I think it's too soon for Thurman.
He's probably going to lose, but I mean, I'm sure he'll hold his own.
I get it. He holds his own a little bit, but I mean, again, it looks to me like Spence is taking the more challenging fights overall.
Yeah, so Crawford's saying you ducked me, Spence, but yet he's going to fight Thurman. You're fighting a nobody. Like, come on. So,
yeah,
shame they're wasting all this time.
No, 100%, man, 100%. So basically, I wanted to touch on one more thing here. Are you ready for this?
Do it.
Devin Haney is currently the only male fighter in all of boxing that's only beaten world champions in his previous 5 fights.
Yeah.
Okay. Haney is also currently the only male undefeated and undisputed world champion in boxing. Haney is also the youngest fighter in boxing to become undisputed and defend his undisputed crown in the 4-belt era. Yet, Ring Magazine refuses to put him in their current top 10 pound for pound. So has this guy rubbed people the wrong way? Has his father pissed off people?
Like, maybe his dad, but Devin's a pretty good guy. He doesn't really say anything controversial. He shows up. He fought 2 times in Australia. I mean, I don't know what else.
How many times do you see a champion go into the ring against the guy that you're going to fight next and say, hey, I'm ready to fight you anywhere, whatever you want, we'll make the concessions. Right?
Back it up.
Like, Lomo didn't look good on Saturday. He looked good, but he didn't look Lomo, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think like sometimes with guys like him, when he's 34 now, he's at a year off. Some of those reflexes start slowing down mid-30s, like what happened to Roy Jones Jr. Still looks good, but he wasn't as quick.
But do you think he might have taken the other guy very lightly, though, man? And that guy was really no slouch, though, at the end of the day.
I don't think so. The reason why they picked him, well, he used to be a sparring partner, but he kind of mimics Devin Haney's body, sort of.
Yeah.
Because he knew he was going to win, most likely. But, man, yeah, he wasn't the same impressive. He won, but he wasn't that impressive. Like, I mean, it was a close fight.
To be fair, coming into this fight, and with no disrespect, I mean this, I'm only paraphrasing what I read about his opponent. That was a tomato can.
Yeah, he's supposed to be an easy win for him, and he won, but wasn't that like dominant.
His face didn't look great for it.
the last few rounds, it was
He
a
ate
close
some
fight.
shots. He ate
Oh yeah,
shots, right? So I mean, if I'm Haney, I'm fucking confident.
I think Lomo's too small for that weight class. He's only 5'7". His frame's small. If you see what he said to Haney, you look like a heavyweight or whatever he said to him. Haney's a big guy compared to Lomo. Lomo's small.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's going to be a great fight, but I don't see him winning that fight.
Well, I mean, he has to fight Lomo next because he has a 3-fight deal with Top Rank. Haney
Yeah.
does. He had to sign a 3-fight deal in
Yeah,
order to
Lomo.
get the title
That's
shot.
what I mean. He's going to Australia. He's signing with Top Rank. He's making the fights happen.
He left Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
He left Matchroom, who's done nothing but good for him, right? And basically, in order to get his title shot, and this is where you know what? I don't think promoters like Eddie Hearn get enough credit. They let him go in order to get the goal.
Yeah, get the fights, big fights.
Get that fight, get that fight that you need, get the titles in the hopes that you'll come back home.
Hopefully that's the plan, yeah.
Right? It's kind of like saying, and I'll use the Oilers for example. I mean, if you really wanted to think about it, like say you could have traded Gretzky to whoever at the end of the season, like at the trade deadline or something. And basically, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Has any hockey player ever done that? Like a hockey team done that where they've traded their top guy away to get all the assets they need?
Yeah,
and then bring it back at the end of the season?
Yeah, it's happened a few times. I can't think of anything offhand, but it's happened.
Okay.
It's like a rent to own.
Yeah. So anyways, basically that's kind of what Haney's kind of had to do. He had to leave his promoter to go join a promoter that he didn't want to be with. And the promoter, with all due respect to the man, the guy, what's his name again? The old man, help me.
The greatest
Bob
boxing
Arum.
of all time.
Bob Arum. Yeah, Bob Arum doesn't really care for him. He's more Lomo than anything.
He loves Lomo.
Right? So I know Arum's thinking, okay, Haney will win the titles, blah, 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 and then Lomo will beat him and the contract's over and everything is beautiful. I don't think that's going to be the case.
We're going to see 2 fights out of this, I think.
I don't see why there would be 2 fights.
There's only depends on the first one.
Well, no, if Lomo wins, then there's a second fight. If Lomo loses, I don't see why he's going to get another shot.
Unless it's like really controversial or something. But if it's not, then one fight.
Controversy would be the only reason if Lomo loses is why there would be a rematch.
It's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, he's 34 now. He's on the downside. You can see it last week. I mean, it's a year off too, though. But
was he on the downside, or did he just take this guy too lightly?
I don't think he took him lightly because he sparred with him a lot. If anything, he should have more of an advantage. He sparred hundreds of rounds together. Like I think Lomo's just so small for this division. You look at how small he is compared. He's got big muscles, and he's just like there's no muscle on the guy really. He's just a little guy. Amazing skill, but I think he's 5 to 10 pounds too heavy in the weight class. I think.
Okay. Well,
and we got Jordy can't get none of these guys. He got the long reach, the big arms,
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, here we go. We're
gonna find out
next year.
Haney will be the favorite for sure.
All right. So let's do this now. Dmitry Bivol will be defending the WBA light heavyweight title against mandatory challenger Gilbert Zurdo Ramirez at the Ehad Arena in Abu Dhabi in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, on the DAZN app. Yep.
Yeah, on this Saturday, man. So Saudi Arabia is bumping, eh?
Yeah, beyond 11.
Yeah, I got Crown Jewels at 9, so that will bleed right into that fight, which is perfect. Everything is beautiful. Bivol 20-0 with 11 KOs. He's coming off probably the biggest win of his life.
Yep.
Beating Canelo Alvarez, who had only lost once before to the great modern legend that would be Floyd Money Mayweather. Was he Pretty Boy Floyd then, or was he Money by that point?
No, he's Money Mayweather, 2013.
Money Mayweather at that point. Zurdo, man, 44-0.
Good record, but this is he's a 4-1 underdog, which is not too heavy of an underdog. It's a little bit, but Bivol by decision.
He's knocked out last 5 guys he's fought at light heavyweight, within 10 rounds.
Yeah, and he's a little bit. He's about 10 pounds heavier than Bivol too. He'll be weighing it the same 175, but he'll be walking in there about 185, 190.
Easy cruiserweights, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can sleep on Zurdo though.
No, he's going to hold on. It's going to be a good fight. My prediction is Bivol by decision.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't sleep on this guy. He's dangerous.
No, absolutely. I guess the question remains here, okay, I mean, I think Bivol will win. I'm going to give you my prediction right off the bat. I think Bivol wins this fight Not handedly, but I think it will be convincingly.
Okay, I think
And
so.
it's gonna go the distance, but then again, you know what, Zerto's power, man. It's
You never
something,
know. Yeah, you could catch him. You just don't know.
right?
Maybe Bill had a one-off night and got lucky against Canelo. I don't think he did, but you never know in boxing. We've seen
Right.
stranger things happen.
Right. So the question now remains here, like, you know, where does Bivol go? If Bivol wins, where does he go from here?
He
In
said
your
he would.
opinion?
He said he would fight Canelo again because it's a good money fight, but he's also thinking not always about money. He's thinking about belts. So
Well,
maybe
here,
better Beeve.
I think Better Be would be the better fight for him, in my opinion. Okay, like there's no legacy to be built upon fighting Canelo again at this point.
And let's not forget, Canelo bypassed the rematch to fight him to fight Triple G. Canelo could have fought him instead of Triple G. I don't blame Canelo. I know why he fought Triple G, but he could have said, Bill, I want you next. He's not fight Triple G. You can wait. So Bill was like, well, I'm going to do my thing too then.
Yeah, I mean, which is fine. But here's what I
Yeah.
think he should be doing. If he wins, if Dimitri Bivol does win this fight and everything goes accordingly, I don't think that Canelo should even be on his lips. I think it should be Better Be, and I think he try to become unified champion here.
That's what it sounds like he's leaning towards, but you never
Well,
know. This
but that's the biggest
throw
fight.
some money
Like,
in his face, right?
but look, either way you look at it, no matter what, I mean, with all due respect to Canelo Alvarez, right? I mean, that's just not his weight class.
He's
Maybe
too.
against journeymen lightweights or light
Mhm.
heavyweights, sorry, whatever, you know, like the Kovalevs of the world and things like that. Then yeah, definitely fight on, brother. Take 175 on by the horns, but do not go against the young current champions. He will not win.
Well, that's how I feel about Lomo. He's just not big enough for that weight class. Same thing with
Right.
Canelo.
You know, and same with Canelo against talented
Mhm.
talent in that division, right? You
Yeah.
know, you don't see him calling out Better Be. Better Be will destroy him,
Yeah, he's just too big for him.
right? So, in my opinion, I think the best thing for Dimitri Bivol would be to build your legacy in your own weight class. And
I
who
agree, but when
better,
you get
you
these
know?
promoters around, they start, hey, we'll pay you 10 million, 12 million, fight Canelo, better be you can wait.
Yeah, but
That's how
like you
things
said,
go, right?
but you know what? That's where you have to think now. Okay, am I doing this for legacy or if I'm doing this for money? And I think
Yeah,
you said earlier that he's not really doing it for the money,
that's what he
right?
says. Yeah,
Right. So if that's the case, he's looking for legacy, and that legacy means to be dominant in your weight class, right?
a lot of people don't know about Bivol. He's half Russian, half Korean, eh?
Yeah, man. It's
Mom's
pretty
Korean,
cool.
dad's Russian. I didn't know that, but
Yeah. So you know, it's a good time for him, man. I think he has the chance. But Zerto, you can't, like I said, you can't
no,
sleep
it's
on
gonna be a
Zerto,
competitive
right?
fight. He's no joke.
Yeah,
He's a
and
serious
Zerto's not
fight.
even a fan of Canelo. He took Canelo as a joke.
Yeah, but he did say, I do want to avenge my loss for my countryman. He
Well,
was
I
saying,
mean, it's all hype, right?
mm-hmm.
I think he's only saying that to get the support of the fans.
Yeah, smart. You know,
I don't think he gives two shits otherwise about Canelo or anything like that, right?
so dude, he's trying to make his own legacy, make his own money, right?
Yeah,
No
no,
matter what country you
absolutely.
come from. So
No, not at all.
it'd be a
So,
competitive fight.
I
Forward
mean,
to it.
and if Zerto wins, that's an automatic setup for Bitterby. So basically, the way I see it, the way it should play out after this, either man who wins, Bitterby is right there ready.
I think so too. Bivol and Canelo will do it again. Maybe not for another year, so they'll get in there one more time.
No, they'll probably get in there one more time, but I like to see Bivol Bitterby instead,
It's a
right?
better fight, yeah.
It's a
For
better fight. Quite frankly, I mean, I will only be sad. I want to see Canelo Benavides.
yeah, I'm not sure what Canelo's problem. He's been kind of quiet after his win.
Well, he's been quiet after this win, but because he knows the fights that are now to be made, or you know, he has to really think serious about his next few moves here,
You know,
right?
what class he wants to
I
do it in.
mean, well, that's the thing, right? I mean, David Benavides is waiting for him, right? Either
Yeah,
he has to defend those titles, or he has to start getting stripped.
yeah, he's gonna have to make an announcement pretty soon.
Not right now, not right away. Obviously, I mean, if Tyson Fury can hold on to his belt forever and ever and ever,
It
even
depends on
after.
how big of a draw you are. They always make exceptions for you. Like they made an exception for Canelo to fight Triple G, right? They gave him that exemption. Same with
Yeah,
Triple G. So they always find a way.
they find a way, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think Canelo has to kind of decide now what the next step is, right? Because
Yeah,
quite frankly, Benavides is not Mexican born,
he'll fight him.
so he's trying to. I think he's dodging him, man.
It's possible. But Canelo's trying to go more of the like Floyd Mayweather style. Doesn't mean you always have to fight the best, but you fight the guy that can make the most money. I think that's kind of how Canelo's kind of doing it now. He's getting in his early
But
30s.
that would be the best money. That's the fight to make. If you want money, that's the money fight for Canelo.
Yeah, him or Bivol again would be big. Revenge is
I
lost.
guess so. I guess so. I mean, but I mean that I think that's way too soon for him. And Canelo, he's getting hand surgery and stuff done as well, so he's not going to be back for a little while anyways,
Yeah,
right? If we're looking at a Canelo fight, we're looking at maybe spring, summertime.
or even a year from now. It's hard to
Possibly,
say.
it all depends, right? I mean, he fights twice a
He
year,
loves to fight in
right?
Cinco de Mayo though, so
So
maybe a
that's what I'm
better.
saying. So spring, if he can heal up by then, we should see him again in spring, right?
Yeah,
And then once again in November, uh, if everything goes well with Canelo.
yeah.
So yeah, we got all that happening. Everything is happening, man. That's it. I mean, not too much more is going down in
No, we'll talk
boxing.
about the Mayweather celebrity fight next week because it's happening the following Saturday.
I'm hearing a lot that Mayweather might have a problem with this fight.
Why? Right here.
Look, this
What
guy
do you
could
mean in
actually,
the
yeah,
fight?
like this guy could actually beat him.
Maybe, or they're just saying that's why we watch it. But you never know. One day, if he keeps doing this, he's mid 40s, he's gonna get caught one of these days. Even by a guy with half the skill, eventually your luck's gonna run out. You know.
In his last fight, he got caught a couple times, man. He was a little wobbly there,
He got stuffed a little bit, but I don't know if
right?
he's show or what he's doing. It's hard to say
You
with
think?
that guy.
Do you think he's broke?
No, he's got tons of money, but he wants more. He's like, why not make more? I'm gonna get paid $10 million for a 10-minute fight. Okay, who would say no to that? He's
No,
still in good
I'm
shape.
saying, yeah, no, but I just makes me wonder sometimes. Okay, because I know
I think you're
he's
going to see a Pacquiao Mayweather exhibition. See, Pacquiao wants as a real fight, Mayweather wants as an exhibition, right? But you're going to see those guys because now Pacquiao is doing the same thing. They're going to get at it eventually as an
yeah.
exhibition.
All right, Michaels.
I
Chance,
got to
my
promote
man.
one more thing because it's my club. So tomorrow at the Aria Convention Center in Surrey, Mamba Fight Night 11. My Muay Thai and my son's coach is coaching all the fights. Me and my kid will be there. Buy the fights, check it out, and it's also on Fight TV for $34.99. 18 fights tomorrow: kickboxing, MMA, and a boxing fight from amateur to pro. So
Cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
I'd say that.
Uh, cool shameless plug there.
Yeah, I have.
Cool.
Well, because I've been there for so many years and they're good to me. So
Okay,
it should be good. 18 fights is a lot of fights. It starts at 5. It's probably going like last fight I went to almost midnight.
nice,
18
man.
fights I think is a little bit too long personally. But remember, the amateur fight nights, you don't all the fights don't always happen. So you're going to see 18 fights listed. Some of these guys don't make the weight. Some of the doctors don't clear them before the fight or whatever. They don't have their medical papers there. The athletic commission say, okay, well, you don't have X, Y, and Z. You didn't make the weight, so they pull a few fights. So 18 fights really means like 14 maybe.
Well,
Couple
man,
pro fights, couple MMA, couple, a little bit of everything.
be safe, my friend. Make sure the little guy's protected too,
He's
because
excited because he gets to go backstage and he gets to watch Coach Jeff wrap a couple hands, and it'll be fun for him to kind of mosey about a little bit there. So
all right. So
yeah, it should be fun.
most of Abbotsford should be out there watching that.
No, it's in Surrey. We got actually most of the few fighters from the Abbotsford Club, a lot of fighters, some from the Lions, Lions MMA and Van's coming. So it's a little bit of everything. I think there's like maybe a guy or two from the States.
Okay, cool.
So we're
Yeah,
gonna see
Lions
everybody.
MMA. Yeah, they're out here in Vancouver. Very cool. Very
Yeah, so
cool.
they're on the card.
Awesome.
One of their guys in one of the main events. So it should be a fun night.
Cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah,
Hope everyone is safe and everyone comes out, whoever, both sides are healthy at the end of
yeah,
all of
should be.
it. Anything happened today in boxing?
Yeah, a couple things. Today is Larry Holmes' 73rd birthday.
Happy birthday,
And
Holmes.
21 years ago today, Zab Judah got knocked out by the Thunder from down under, Kotsa Zoo, with the guy with the little rat tail, the little guy. Second round, popped him down.
Now, see,
Zab Judah's
his son is going to be fighting Charlo.
Yep.
Tim Zoo.
Yep. And his dad is only 50, born 69. His dad's only 53 years old. Oh,
Yeah, his dad, actually, here's a funny thing. I was talking to a fellow from Australia a few weeks back, just before the Haney and Kambosos fight. And I asked him, what kind of name does Kambosos have in Australia? Like, from your perspective. And this guy's a bookie, by the way. His full-time gig
nice.
is a bookie.
Well, he knows his stuff.
He knows the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I asked him, who's
the king?
Who's the king down there? And he said exactly, Tim Zoo's dad.
Yeah, the Thunder from down under. Yeah.
The Thunder from down under, he's the guy that would have the name, right? Like he's the one that people know and associate with boxing. Yeah, you have Kambosos and you got Tim Zoo and everything, but basically
and
bottom
Jeff
line is
and
Jeff, yeah, absolutely. So
no, it's Zoo's the man right now, but maybe his son's good too, man. He might even be better than his dad. They're a great boxing family. So yeah, 21 years ago, they upset Zab Judah in the MGM Grand Garden Arena. So
and Zab Judah
great Larry Holmes is 73.
Yeah. And Zab Judah is working with Devin Haney, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, brother man. I tell
Also,
you
Larry
what.
Holmes fought Butterbean too in his last fight. I think in 2005, so he would have been mid to late 50s. He fought Butterbean. People don't know Butterbean has over 70 professional boxing fights.
Yeah,
Kickboxing, and did a little. Did he do a little wrestling too? WWE or
and
WCW?
it was
Not enough.
WCW. WCW.
No, he did that thing, Brawl for All.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it was
Yeah,
WrestleMania. Yeah, where he beat up Bart Gunn, knocked him
yeah.
out in like fucking 4 seconds.
He's got over 120
Yeah,
professional fights with kickboxing, MMA, and boxing. So
yeah.
big
And he
dude.
was, and the guy never got a title shot.
No, and he's like 56, but he's lost a lot of weight. Have you seen him lately?
Actually, I did. It was kind of funny. You know how on the late night TV show, I don't know if it was Jimmy Kimmel or which one it was. It probably was Kimball because it was in LA or something, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, they're talking to Butterbean saying, "Oh yeah, do you think he could have beaten Mike Tyson?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, he said he could. Yeah, he said
And
he
he said,
would have.
"Yeah, I probably could beat him up and this and that," but he didn't know that Tyson was actually standing behind him.
Oh, nice. That's
That was
funny.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
That was
he's
kind of
calling
funny.
out the Paul brothers. He's just trying to make a buck, right? But
Well, again, back to the Paul brothers. I mean,
we got Logan Paul headlining Crown Jewel.
Yeah, yeah. No, we got that
Big
going
week
down
for the
this weekend. No, great week for them. Here's the deal, man. I really think, like I said, the only thing I'll say now, like Jake Paul, yeah, you're a boxer.
Mhm.
Respect. Kudos to you. You've come a long way, 100%. All I really want now, just to solidify all of this, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Fight a couple real boxers. I get it.
Fight a real boxer. Now, because you are at a certain level, I'm still not saying you're A or B tier boxer, right?
Mhm.
I'll say you're a C tier boxer. That's working his way up. You're getting better and better, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
If I keep seeing improvements in his technique, his skill set, and his angling, and his body language, like he understands the science, and I respect that,
Yeah, he works
right?
hard.
He's putting the time in, right? And it was hard to kind of respect that when you watch him fight, Nate Robinson, was it right?
Yeah,
And you beat up a guy who just came off hip replacement surgery, and
but you'd
things.
figure that these guys would be beating up Jake Paul because this guy's just a YouTube guy that started training. You figure like Tyrone Woodley and Nate Robinson, world class athletes, and he's knocking this dude out. He's knocking them out.
Well,
Not saying
Nate,
he's like a Canelo, but they
well,
should be able to beat him up.
look. Nate Robinson. We shouldn't even count that as a fight.
But like even Woodley and Anderson, they should be able to finish this guy. They're still world class fighters, right?
The world class fighters, but boxing is a whole different concept.
No, I
Man,
know,
you
but
know
he just
this,
started
right?
learning a couple of years ago. These
No,
guys have
I
been fighting
get it.
for
I
30
get it. But
years.
those guys know only dirty striking,
No, I
right?
know.
Right?
Different, but
You
they
know what I
should be
mean?
able
It's
to patent
different.
them.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. The closest thing that he had to a boxer is Anderson Silva,
Yeah.
who was, trained
Who beat
in
up
the art.
Chavez Jr. Kid, man. He looked good. Yeah.
No, right. And he trained in the art of boxing, right? Like, I mean, the
Mhm.
man knows
Yeah, he's
boxing
just
is
doing.
a boxing's a standalone, man. You can't compare
No, I know,
boxing
but he
to
just
anything.
took it on so fast, and he's beating up former UFC
No,
champ.
and good for him, right? But here's the thing, and with all due respect, again, man, if I had undisposable incomes like he does and whatnot, and I can train fucking 12 hours a day,
Mhm.
I'd probably be really good. You'd be really good as well, comparable,
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're
right?
saying.
So I mean, but respect to him, he's doing it, right?
Yeah,
All I'm
yeah.
saying, and I'll keep saying it until it happens, but I'll
He'll get
always
there
give him his
eventually.
props, But like I said, but that's the only piece missing. That's going to shut everyone up. That'll shut me up,
Yeah,
right? And I'm not even harping on the guy. I'm just saying that I just want to see him do
he's
something.
gonna take on Diaz next though, because it's too
I get
much.
it. No, you got it. I get it, right? And Diaz did his part by starting a fight backstage and what have you. So I mean, everything is lined up for that. It's
Diaz,
perfect.
you're gonna lose the fight. I can tell you that much. I'm pretty positive on that.
No, he's gonna lose.
Yeah,
Watch now, he'll get knocked out.
yeah, yeah. But eventually, after a couple more fights, yeah, Jake's gonna have to fight a real boxer. Who knows? Maybe Canelo or somebody will fight him in a couple of years for a money fight. You just never know with this how this
Well,
stuff works out.
possibly, right? I mean, nobody knows, right? And the
Yeah,
words of Igor Larionov, nobody knows.
exactly.
All right. Well, I tell you what, brother man, I know you got to get somewhere and I got to get somewhere. So let's wrap this baby up.
All right.
So remember Dimitri Bivol against Zerto this Saturday,
Good
November the
fight.
5th. It's going to be live on DAZN on the app, and it'll be free to us.
Watch it, people. It's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a real fun fight. Absolutely. Also, the same day from Saudi Arabia, man, all the good shit's starting to happen there all the time, eh?
Oh,
It's
they got their money,
becoming a
man.
thing. Wow. Crown Jewel is going to go down now. as we get closer and closer to this crown jewel, man, I'm telling you, I don't know if Roman's gonna win.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I hope Logan takes it just to shake the system up,
But
piss
you
off
know,
the internet
okay,
community. It would
okay,
burn. I'd
okay.
love to see it.
But would that be the same as fucking what's his
Not as
name?
David Spade, no, because Logan Paul's a legit athlete. You've seen his match that he had.
Not David
David Spade
Spade.
doesn't do
No,
that.
no, 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 not David
But
Spade.
David
David
Arquette.
Arquette. Yeah.
So, but you've seen the moves that Logan Paul. Arquette could barely do anything, right? He's not doing flips off the rope on the announce tables and stuff, right? Doesn't have the same following. But I don't think Logan will get it though. Roman's going to win it.
Okay. Well, I
I
mean,
hope he
if
wins.
it's gonna happen, it might happen because now there's doubt that if The Rock will be able to make WrestleMania 39.
Did you hear that the Saudi prince said we want Logan Paul in the main event? They wanted to use like Kevin Owens or like something like that, and the Saudi prince said no, we want Logan Paul. He's got a massive following over here. That's
Yeah,
why he's
yeah,
on.
no, you know what? Respect to these guys. Like I said, I mean, I'm not gonna shit on them. You know, not that I have shit on them, but I will be honest, man. These guys work hard, and maybe
Work
you
hard, dude.
know they work hard, and
Logan
we
Paul's pretty entertaining too. I think he's not doing bad with his promos and his kind of cocky moves. And
no, he's
I
learning.
like the guy.
He's taking it seriously, and I have to respect that. Like, I mean, you got to look at it, and it's kind of a double-edged sword for me because these are the two things that I love more than anything in terms of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love boxing. I basically over the last 5 years, man, I basically taken combat sports and professional wrestling is basically my main appetite for sports.
You still watch
Yeah.
a little bit of hockey or what?
No, I still watch a bit here and there, but it's more highlights for me. I don't have that same passion for fucking football and hockey the way I used to. Like I still
Yeah,
follow it. I know what's going on, but I can't tell you who's on the fourth line for the Habs anymore.
yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know, like I follow all the highlights. I know when we win and I know when we lose and I know what's going on. I read the headlines, but I'm not balls deep the way I used to be, man. The way I am now with boxing and combat sports in general and professional wrestling. I
Speaking of
mean,
wrestling, I know this is a boxer, but I'm gonna bring it up quickly. Did you see Vance Nevada's post today?
you know what? I just got a text from
Let's just
someone.
say something right now without
Hold on,
getting.
hold on. I haven't seen it. While we were talking here, someone just sent me a message with Vance Nevada on Facebook. You know what? It's
So
a
I'll tell you. I
video.
just want to say something. I'm not gonna tell you what he said, but basically, there's maybe two guys that have a podcast that might have kickstarted this.
What are we talking about? I haven't seen the post, so tell
Okay,
me.
okay. So how to say
While
it?
while we were recording here, someone
So
sent me
this
a
happened this
text.
morning, but a
Okay.
couple days ago, Vancouver's favorite podcaster and the other Vancouver favorite podcaster might have wrote a couple comments possibly in VIPW. There's a funny thing about independent wrestlers. They don't like statuses and they don't heart your stuff, but they read everything. This guy was reading what people were saying, and he had a rebuttal and hashtag Ice Down with Scotty Mac, kicking off of kind of what we were saying. Watch the video.
Should I do it now?
It's too long to watch. It's like 15 minutes, 12 minutes.
Vance Nevada. So basically, here I am. I'm just looking it up right now.
Was the only time you've seen me on video is when I've been promoting.
It's a defense for Scotty Mac.
Book signings.
He defending Scotty?
Today, what I want to talk to you about is something
Okay,
that's
you
much
know
more
what? I'm gonna
serious
watch
and
this.
much
Later, we'll talk about our next
Yeah.
podcast. But
No,
we definitely
100%.
had something to do with that video. We kickstarted some of it. Our
Did we?
comments. Well, he's not saying that, but just think about it. I actually told Perry Legal on the phone last night after we wrote what we wrote.
Well, here's the thing. I did it off my personal account. I didn't do it off the
Yeah,
Samp
so did
Chance
I.
account.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So I told Perry, Scotty, and all these guys, they don't like a lot of statuses. Sometimes they do, but they read everything. These guys are on their phones 24/7. Trust me. I said it to him. Scotty and Vance read all this stuff. This morning, I got a message from Perry Legal. This video. It's like, dude, you're right. Look at this. With you and F1 were kicking off. Now, he doesn't mention our names, but you can read between the lines. Just watch it. It's pretty cool. Props to Vance for sticking up for his buddy.
No, but respect. Okay, here's the deal, man. I know we're talking boxing, but you know what? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now because I've already sent them a message. Some of these people, the people that are out there talking all the shit about Scotty and talking crap about the things that they say he is and is not and does. I've not heard from these people yet.
Interesting.
So, Parm, if you're listening, I've reached out to you. I would love to have you and anyone else that's with you on our show.
Yeah.
To hear your side of the story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying anything against you. I have nothing against anybody. We just want to understand where the proof is,
Exactly.
right? Scotty is not a racist,
No, hell no.
right? I mean, if he was a racist, how would I be his friend for 25 years?
It wouldn't be.
If he was a racist, you tell me, man, how would I have the opportunities like he's given me to fulfill some of my, childhood dreams
And kick off our first podcast. He
and
wouldn't do
kick
that.
off our first cause? Why would he do that?
Exactly.
Right?
Here's the thing: people throw out the word racist and racism. It's lost its merit because somebody doesn't agree. Like if you said to me, "I don't like Ichiro," I could say, "Well, you're racist against Asian people?" No, you just don't like the guy as a person. Doesn't mean everything is racist or everything's a race view. You know what I mean? People just throw that out there, man. It's nuts.
Look, man. I've said this to you before, and and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful manner to anybody because everyone gets affected by things differently. But I'll be honest: racism is a watered down word now.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally agree.
And this is coming from an ethnic man. Okay. This is coming from a guy who grew up in a small rural community where there were no other ethnic, you were just white guys, right?
Yeah. You're talking late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, it's way different back then.
Well, I mean, not late 70s. I mean, more early to mid 80s, right?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not that old. Basically, when you are called a Hindu or Punjab to your face by white guys and you just accept it, white people can't do that. No one does that anymore.
No.
Right?
Well, I think of a white maybe in a fight, in a conflict, but yeah, not like
no. But you just in general, like you just
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
see it anymore, right? To say that is really a ballsy move. It's come to that point using that kind of language with other ethnicities, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this is how we grew up as kids, dealing with that. And on top of all of that, I mean, like you said, I would know the difference, like you and I together, okay? I can call you a cracker and you can call me a Hindu, and I know the difference between it being derogatory or just two pals having a fucking chuckle.
Exactly.
Right? Where I think that's lost on everyone today. On most of the society and most of this generation.
Yeah.
That's in the forefront right now, right? JBL said it best, man. Safe zone culture, whatever he said. That was perfect.
Yeah, he's doing great with that stuff.
But look, I don't want to kill it here. I'm gonna check out that promo.
We'll get into it on the next wrestling show.
We'll get it into the next wrestling show.
Please watch that.
No, definitely 100%. So guys, thank you. We digressed a lot here today. Remember Dimitri Bivol against Zerto this weekend. I am telling you, you have to watch this fight.
Yes,
this is one of those fights that you have to watch. I will be watching it. Chance will be watching it. We will be on top of it. So yeah, guys, Samp and Chance out. Everyone have a great weekend. I'm gonna watch this video and see what the fuck's going on.
Right.
And Farm, if you're listening, buddy, we'd love to have you on the show. All right.
Okay.
I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels.
And the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, salute you.
We do salute you, brother. Have a great weekend. Have a great show, and we will talk soon.